box room, but then, you know, Zelk got lit up and he fell back, and they were trying to lure out someone, but Curse didn't fall for that, so.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I think on offense, it's good to play the master plays, not always slow.
That's true, as Sin taking out one-shot kid at the window, not knowing someone else is there, taking out far out double doors, Myth coming out of there, into path, and Zelk taking out him. Not taking out Zelk though, long range. It's gonna be a 3-on-1.
This is a prime example how Sin switched the rifle, and you see that he didn't play that window room, he's back.
Yeah.
He allowed them to have to force themselves in, and when they're playing against the time, it's, even if it's a 5v5, it's so much more of an advantage for a defensive team.
Because you can, you know, just fire, flash, you know, because you know they're coming in. So. Yeah. They are going to take it hard now, take it on top 58, they're just going to take that opportunity to push. I don't think the defense realized that the offense would just get that aggressive though. They were pushing box room for about 2 to 3 rounds, and then they just dominated that hard, so I mean...
If Curse loses this round, this is going to be hurtful, because when they had got those initial 2 kills, the whole team on wall play had rotated all the way over through their spawn.
Yeah.
So what they could have done was pretty much went through mid and went straight to 1, and it would have been a cleared open 1. It's hard to really know that for sure. You know, people aren't able to see, you know, exactly what the other team are doing, but they could have pretty much been able to take over 1 right away.
And this is just gonna be horrible. There was a 3-on-5, and they're just gonna... It's a 3-on-1 now in favor of Wild Play. I don't know what happened to Curse there.
Yeah, like two side is very iffy. There's just too many openings that the team can go through. I mean, there's the blue room, which is right above the bomb site, and there's a spawn. And then even if the other team wanted to, they could have flanked and come from the box room. So 2 is just a very iffy side. You can probably take it easily, but try to defending it, it's pretty difficult compared to 1.
But the thing is that when you take out 2 guys in box room, it's a 5-on-3. You're pushing, and you're in 2. You just have to look through blue room and spawn, and I suppose it is hard to cover, but you're only looking at 2 places, and you can set up a guy at box room to watch flank. You know, I just don't know how they lost.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of team chemistry too. Maybe calling out his position. You know, having one person look one way, and that's the only direction he'll be looking, and then have another player look the other direction. But sometimes teams with a little bit of less chemistry than what they should be tends to kind of start looking in all directions because they get nervous.
Scared.
You know, they're worried about, you know, if I'm gonna die or not. So that tends to happen, and you know, that's when you start getting killed 1 by 1. So
yeah, I mean that definitely is a problem when you know you're thinking your teammate's watching your front, but then he's just moving around everywhere, and then he's not watching your front. Then you just get scared and you look everywhere, you know, and then
yeah. So right now we have a 4v5 situation. Right now it's best for Myth pretty much to float around and get as many picks as possible. If he dies, he dies. But right now that's kind of their only option until the time gets to about maybe 20 or 30 seconds. By the time, there you go, perfect. They got those 2 picks right now, so definitely they have an advantage. And
they actually do, because Nat is at 1 HP almost, and so is Myth, so... I mean,
yeah, that's true, but with the amount of numbers, you always have to think that the team who has the most amount of numbers has the advantage, because the other team might not 100% know that NA7 is lit. I mean, maybe by now they might know, but I would always think a 3v2, no matter how lit a guy is still an advantage over the guys who have 2 guys left.
Yeah, true. Bomb is down at 1. I don't think Wild played. They didn't play that well. They didn't rotate quick enough, which was kind of unfortunate because they were hearing the guys pushing through double doors and they were just still at 2. So
there you go. NA7 still gets a kill with being only about an HP. That was an excellent gameplay by first, using Myth as to get that one pick while Far got another pick in there, so it was perfect.
And that just goes to show, score doesn't really matter in a game. If you're pulling off picks and making lit enough guys to about 1 HP, you're doing your job. As Myth did get that pick in mid with his TPG, and he instantly made it an advantage for his team with the 4v3, so...
Yeah, definitely. Really, I mean, I've seen people on the forums talk about, you know, guys are bottom fragging and whatever, and you get carried. When it comes down to it, in tournament play, and all the top teams know it, score doesn't mean nothing. It's the win at the end that really matters. So.
Yeah, it's true. Like, you're lighting up like 3 guys to 1 HP, and you're like 0-3. Well, you know, the guy that pulls off the 3v1 clutch, you lit up all those guys to 1 shot. So, I mean, it kind of, I don't know, that's just a little example of how score doesn't matter. Myth trading off shots with a Pap and sight. And he does get the better end of it, though. Hopeful and excellent. A great pick on Zelk. They are gonna try to stack now. Hold on, man. Do you know if the SW is allowed?
The pistol?
Yeah.
Any pistol is allowed.
Cause I just saw him napped out, so I don't know.
To be honest, I have the SW, and SW is not that good of a gun.
Yeah, it's horrible, to be honest.
It's
but regardless, I mean, rules is
yeah, it might be something we could find out at the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah, he does have the SW. Should we stop this, or what should we do?
No, I think you guys should just keep playing, and then we'll resolve it at the end of it.
I don't think it really matters. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure wild play isn't really gonna. I mean, actually, I shouldn't say that. I've seen teams complain about the littlest things, so.
That's true. Yeah. I remember a long time ago you were having a problem with. What was it? I don't remember, but it was we were playing against a team, or it was another team, and they were complaining about how they used some like an armor or something, and I don't know, maybe it wasn't him. I'm sorry. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, when I
like, have you ever had any problems with?
When I played
have you
for
ever
the
had any
ISF
problem with?
qualifier,
Sorry.
I had an issue with my team when we registered on the Waggle site, and it was the smallest problem, and people were trying to make a big deal out of it, saying that rules are rules, but
wasn't that Curse that you're fighting with?
Yeah, it might have been. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm not gonna say names, but you know, when it all comes down to it, yeah, rules are rules, and it should be followed, but I think, you know, when it comes down to it, there should be some leniency when, if it doesn't affect the actual gameplay, then, you know, it should definitely be, you know,
taken into consideration for sure.
Exactly. And the guys who were involved, they were okay with that as well, so they just wanted the clarification, so it went out okay.
That's good, As Sin picking up the SMG again, and he's doing horrible. He just got down to 1 HP by far in mid. None of them are gonna push him. They just pushed him, and Curse gets the better end of it.
This is perfect right here, having to stay in mid and catch the rotate, so it's a very nice play.
Yeah, definitely, and the paras in this map, you were saying how they were, you know, not really the best situation, but when you if you really think about it, every single site is always close ranged. So, I mean, when you're pushing on offense, you have that huge advantage of getting right into CQC and taking, you know, people out, rather than an M4 has lower DPS in the closer ranges, so.
That's true too. I think it's kind of weird. Like if you're going one site, it might be better to have an M4. If you're going two site, it does definitely have an advantage if you have a fire, because, you know, right here, like as you see, enemy 7 and one shot kid, you can pretty much walk all the way up until this box area and just creep fire when you creep out. In one, you really can't do that. Everything is relatively long range. So I don't know. I mean, from what I've heard from guys who use paras, they have a harder time playing this map than any other map. So
Right, and I'm sorry, but I think we should just talk about the gameplay a little bit more, even though we are mentioning the guns and whatnot. So, yeah, as we see this, one does seem that wasn't it Myth and Far trying to take double doors and they switched up players pushing on the offense? I'm really in favor of that. I mean, usually, like, I've never really been, I suppose, in a good team rather than Ego or Wild play, but what I've learned is that you don't really switch up guys when you're pushing, because if you always set up two guys to play with each other on defense and on offense, isn't that going to be, like, a much better strategy than always switching up?
I think it's just a gamble. It really depends. Who knows, right? But
Yeah,
right
sure.
now, what they're doing is they were gonna push into 2, but I think they're doing a very, very good job right now. Far, he's trying to back reap these guys right now. If you can get one kill, you run out of here. There you go. Great play right here. All
Really
Far has to
smart
do
play,
is
yeah.
just chill and just sit here, sit tight, wait until they take one, and it's GG.
That was a great extent of gameplay. They came back from that 3-5 to 6-5, was it?